go on with my day. Good morning, Lolita.
Hey there. Hey, hey, hey. What a great conversation we have been having this morning. I'm super excited to just lean in a little bit more and hopefully attract some of the same juicy conversations that we have been having. Listen, I'm here for a power half an hour and I cannot wait to just get into it with you guys today. For all of you all, I do know. Hello, yet another week we are together. For all of you all, I don't have the privilege of knowing. I am Lolita E. Walker. I am a certified life leadership and executive coach. I am an author. I'm a mommy. I am a full-time PhD student. You know, you name it, I'm probably doing it. I'm probably doing it. And it's unlike it's very much like a lot of the people who are listening in today. So I want to say hey to my Facebook community, Coaching Cocktails and Conversations, to Breakfast with Champions, of course, to Clubhouse, to LinkedIn, and to YouTube. So wherever it is that you are, feel free to drop something in the chat or lean in, come off mic, whatever it is you want to do in this power half an hour to really lean into what I'm going to talk about today, which is how to plant seeds while growing in the weeds. I'm going to say that again. How do we plant seeds while growing in the weeds? Now, I got a couple strategies I'm going to leave you with today, but let me just start with this piece right here, you guys. I am in Los Angeles. So it is it's 7:32 Eastern, but it is 4:32 a.m. Pacific time. And I tell you, it's a little bit differently. It hits a little bit differently when you're up at the crack of dawn. But I have so much energy this morning. One, with this topic, but two, with some of the topics we've been talking about already. So it's getting my brain going, which is always so good. And I'm here in LA. One, I'm doing a book signing, you guys. So if you are in the LA area on Saturday, then I'm doing a book signing at the Grove, Barnes and Nobles. Tell a friend. I'm really excited about it. As you, most of you all know, I released two new books. So I had two. One was The Intersection of You and Change. The second one is Can We Talk? 44 Letters and Poems to Reclaim or Bolder You. I've said so many of those poems right here for each of you guys to listen into. The third and fourth that I just released is Dear Black Girl, Can We Talk? And Dear Anxiousness, Can We Talk? So those are the ones I'm going to be talking at the book signing. So make sure you tell a friend, come on out. I love it. Dr. Jeannie said, LA time. Congrats on the book signing. Thank you so much. Yes, we are ready to plant these seeds. And hey, good morning, Yvette Searson. We've all been among the weeds and thistles while trying to be great. Yes, let's lean into this topic right now. So, I sent a note to Danny this morning, who is the first time I actually heard Danny speak on a stage this morning. And I was saying, this right here is an example. The conversation that he was engaging with us in, especially around AI, was planting seeds while growing in the weeds. And so I want to offer up to you what weeds can look and feel like sometimes in our lives, and just open it up, because there's so many different ways and perspectives that you can take a look at this topic. And I hope that at least one of these nuggets is going to resonate with you so that you can shift into a bigger, better, bolder you. That's the goal of this. I love to bring a little bit of coaching cocktails and conversations to the party when I'm here. And coaching is really all about leaving you with some nuggets to challenge your thinking. That's it. Whatever you can't use, you just leave it right there at the bus stop. I mean, that's it. Right? You take what you can and then you leave what doesn't add value to your life. Cocktails is not so much about what you're sipping on, but it's really about celebrating the greatness of who it is that you are, the greatness of thought, the greatness of showing up at the table, the greatness of leaning in, the greatness of like elevating your thought. And then conversations is the juiciness that I like to say that we have around here. Hey, Pam Vashoni. Oh my goodness. I'm on my doctoral journey. It's so good to see you. Pam is here on LinkedIn. Love to see you. A Facebook user said, congrats on the Barnes and Noble book signing. If you know anybody in LA, then make sure you send them my way. I'm just super excited. And somebody said, enjoy LA. So let's talk about this piece right here, you guys, is what does it mean when you're in the weeds? The first thing I was talking about this morning is acknowledging that you are in the weeds of whatever situation, whether it's work, it's life, it's home, like acknowledging that I'm standing right here in this right now. Now, we talked about AI this morning as an example. This isn't even where I was going this morning, but this is where we are. And so sometimes we're so far in the weeds. And so we need to acknowledge that, yeah, we're here. Yep, this is where I'm standing. This is where I'm standing. Sometimes I love that Yvette Searson said, sometimes you got to go through weeds and thistles. Sometimes when you're growing and you're elevating and you're getting to that next point in life, sometimes the obstacles are so big that's mounting around you. And it feels like you're walking in this field barefoot with just thistles coming up everywhere. But what if on the other side of that thing was a deeper understanding? What if on the other side of that thing that I met somebody so freaking amazing in Clubhouse or on a virtual app or inside of my coaching cocktails and conversations, and that in itself is what is now here to elevate me so that I can now plant seeds while I'm growing weeds, like while I'm growing in these weeds. I want people to know that sometimes in the midst of the weeds, we are growing. And when we can already acknowledge that thing right there, then we're planting seeds with our words, with our energies, with our minds, with our spirit. Like I plant a seed right now. There's a little bit of Lolita that will be left with you right here today. There's a little bit of Dr. Janie. There's a little bit, and I'm going to say Danny because some of his words resonated with me today. At least it's going to help me to think a little bit differently, right? I saw Pam Vishoni on this morning. There's a lot of Pam that has been peppered inside of me and planted seeds. And this here is what helps us to elevate our thinking. So this first strategy that I want to give to you today is acknowledge that, yep, I'm here in the weeds. And sometimes it's going to hurt. Sometimes it's not the journey that I absolutely want and I feel like I deserve. I love that Dr. Tati on LinkedIn, she said, good morning, enjoy your journey towards that PhD. I tell you, sometimes that feels like the weeds. Sometimes that feels like the thistle. It's the unknown. It's navigating in those places and spaces where sometimes the brush feels like it's bigger than even where my head is, right? And so one of the strategies today, when I get to the end, it's about nourishing your garden, like cultivating this garden and nourishing it so that you can thrive. It's also about your community and who you pull into your community. And acknowledging that you're in the weeds sometimes means like, hey, guess what? My hand is up because now I'm confident enough to say, hey, I need help. I know some of y'all ain't out here asking for help. You got to do it. You got to do it. You got to recognize that I'm not a solo machine. And so therefore, what I can do is while I am inside of these weeds and I'm navigating inside of these weeds, that I know that I can plant seeds so that not only others can grow from what it is I'm leaving right here, and they don't have to go through the same struggle as me, but also like I'm grabbing things that other people have planted. Oh, how good is that? Yvette Searson said, and we appreciate all the seeds of greatness that you drop into us. Oh, thank you so much. Acknowledge that you are in the weeds, whatever the situation is. So the first is acknowledging that we are here. Hi, my name is Lolita E. Walker, and I'm standing in the weeds where it is right now. It's not always comfortable, but I'm acknowledging that I'm right here. And then two, while I'm here, strategy number two is really all about listening intently and without judgment. And sometimes that's hard to do. So somebody might say, well, Lolita, how does this apply to my work? How does this apply to what I'm going through right now? How does this apply to my life? How does this apply to how I'm at home? Well, I want you to think about it, right? Think about the fact that when you navigate this thing called life, you will find yourself in the weeds. And if you're not there now, then you've been there. And guess what? I hate to be the one to tell you, but you will get there again. And so you take these strategies and you say, okay, first, let me acknowledge where it is that I am. And two, let me listen intently. And this time, let me do it in a way that's without judgment. Because one, while I'm listening and I'm inside of those weeds, it might not agree with what everybody's saying in there. I might not agree with how everybody's navigating, but I might be able to pick something up along the way. I might be able to leverage technology. I might be able to leverage what this person said to me. I might be able to leverage this other opinion. I might be able to leverage what it is that I've done in the past. I might be able to leverage my mistakes and where I went wrong. I might be able to leverage the friendships and the relationships that I have in order to grow differently. And this time, I'm going to listen intently and without judgment, right? Because my goal is to grow, but how do I grow when I don't embrace the things that come around me? And not all of them are going to look and feel like I do inside of this moment. Last night, which only was a couple hours ago here. So last night I was at if you've been in LA before, it's called World Stage. Somebody took me to World Stage. It's the first time that I've been there, but it was this open poetry. And it was a book signing, but this poet was there, and there was all these other poets, and it was some beautiful music, and somebody was playing a saxophone, so beautiful. And one of the poems was just talking about life and just talking about the hardships in it. And then another poem was talking about physics and relating physics into your mental space. And it just was so good because it was this place of expansion. So while I might be in the woods, in the weeds, inside of my own life, what that did is I listened intently was be able to open me up because I came back wanting to write, right? I came back inspired and wanting to write. I didn't necessarily agree with everything that they were saying, but damn, it was inside of me like, oh, it peppered me in a way that guess what? My creativity was opened up differently, right? So the beauty about that is that while I was in that space, I was able to now get re-energized in order to be my most poetic self. I was able to get energized, come on, God, right before my book signing where I'm going to be reading poetry, right before I'm going to be talking about my most creative self and how I came into this space. So when you listen intently and you're being present, that's what I really should call it, being present inside of the moment, then you will be so surprised at how you grow inside of the weeds that you're in. I love this. Okay, okay. So Stacy said planting seeds while growing the weeds. Come on, claiming this Dr. Lolita E. Walker. I got to do it too. I appreciate all of you all who do that all of the time because it helps me to continue to keep on going. And I love that Tosh Queen said, can we talk poems? Yes, Tosh Queen, we're taking 22 of the books that are inside of Can We Talk, my second book, pulling them out and making them into illustrated books. So that's what we got, dear. I'm saying we, but it's just me, myself, and I. And then I have two 17-year-old illustrators who've done Dear Black Girl, Can We Talk, and Dear Anxiousness, Can We Talk. And when I talk about this here, this is a prime example. When I am inside of my own weeds of life, right? That's when I'm my most creative self. I don't know about you all, but it's in those moments of listening intently, of pausing, of being without judgment. My son was anxious. I could see at the time, I think he was only like 9 at the time. He's 11 now. I just saw that this world, this society, this fast-paced thing is just so different than when we grew up, right? I just saw how anxious he was to even go to school, judgment, how much there was. And I wrote this poem, Dear Anxiousness. And I would read it to him so that he was reminded, like, I see this urgency that is flowing through your veins, but I want you to know that, hey, it's okay to breathe and take a step back. It's okay to feel and listen and do all of the things while you're in your weeds, but I want you to know that I'm here and I'm listening to you. So, dear anxiousness, can we talk? That's how that came about. Dear Black girl, can we talk? It's in these moments when you pause. It's in these moments when you realize that I'm planting these seeds inside of people and I'm grabbing the seeds that others have left for me. Dear Black girl, can we talk? Came because my 89-year-old grandma at the time, who's now 92, started saying things like, I'm such a burden. Oh, I'm stupid. Like, what? Do you understand the history that we stand on because you are the amazingness that you are? And you were born in 1931 and oh, what you've been through. I want you to know, dear Black girl, you are amazing. Let me remind you that I am a reflection of you and you are a reflection of me. It's in those moments that I want us to remember that we are planting seeds while we're growing in our weeds. And that can come if you're 2 years old or 102 years old. So for everybody here, however you frame this thing today, I want you to know that inside of these moments, inside of this time, you are growing. Oh, so good. So today we're talking about how to plant seeds while growing in the weeds. We talked about acknowledging that you are in the weeds. Like, hey, I'm here, I'm in the weeds. The 2 is listening intently and without judgment. Number 3 is reframing perspective. Makes sense, right? Instead of seeing these weeds as these insurmountable obstacles, what if we view them as learning and improvement opportunities? What if we reframe it so that we're solutions focused and not buried inside of all these insurmountable obstacles that are coming our way? What if we recognize that on the other side of this, I'm still standing right here because I am greatness? What if we said our name and knew what it meant? What if we said our name and said it with power and then elevated a little bit? What if we closed our minds and reminded that not closed our minds, closed our eyes, and reminded that our minds can continue to be shifted in ways that we don't even recognize yet. Like, this world is moving so much. What if we embraced what all of the things that were here, but at the end of the day, remind me that, listen, nobody puts baby in a box. Oh my gosh, I love it. Ramon Ray says, let's go. Love how you shine and show up. Thank you, Ramon. I love it. When you have a community that continues to challenge your thinking in so many different ways, then you show up because you're always growing and your wheels inside of your brain are always moving and doing all of the things. And the beauty is that we can reframe perspective. When somebody wants to bring the energy to us that doesn't really align with where it is and how it is that we are, then you reframe the beauty of the coaching that they might be trying to give and take a nugget, or just leave all of it right there. Because if it doesn't hit my spirit, right, if it's not going to feed me inside of my garden, then I don't need any extra weeds. I'm already in them. I don't need no extra thistles. If you're not coming in order to help me to elevate, in order to help me to shift a little bit differently, then guess what? I'm not for you inside of this moment. And that's okay too. You got to know that's okay too, right? Water ourselves with the power of mindset, water our brain, water our spirits, water all of this, our conversations, water it, right? With the power of a positive mindset, a growth mindset, we are shifting our realities with our thoughts. And if I'm going to shift to action based on what it is I'm thinking, then I want to be thinking amongst a group of thought leaders who might challenge me differently, so that when I get off of here, I can be like, let me think about that, because somebody said something and I had never thought about that before. When I'm reading these articles, you guys, and I got to read a lot of articles. Oh my gosh. So when I read these articles, sometimes I'm like, oh man, I never thought about that like that. So good. So next, we want to cultivate a growth mindset. I kind of just talked about that, but then this one here is about tending to your garden and your community. So all of these strategies are really to remind you that you are greatness, and wherever it is that you're standing right there, you don't have to think of your weeds as insurmountable obstacles wherever it is that you are. What if you chose to shift that mindset? So I'm happy to help you to try to do that today if you want to. I want to open up the mic because y'all know I can continue to go and go and go. So let me open it up. Does anybody have anything that they want to add? Hey, Malcolm. I'm trying to read comments so I can get to you guys. Lolita, will you be in LA July 26th? Uh, no, I won't. I'm leaving on the 24th. I'm so sorry, Dr. Emerald. Oh no, I will not be here. I leave on the 24th. I've been in California since the start of the month. I went to Napa. I've been to Oakland. I've been to Occidental, and now I'm in LA. And can I just have a side note, since you guys don't have anything to add right here, that you guys, we met on a social app. Can I just say that out loud one more time? Very much like Breakfast with Champions, this is a social app. You hear voice, you navigate towards things that challenge your thinking. At least I do. You can hear the genuine nature inside of people, and if you continue to come back, you can recognize if that person is putting on show, or if that is truly who that person is. Right? Okay. So in Breakfast with Champions, we've met each other in person. We've had conferences. We've supported people's webinars. We've met in person. We've spoken on stages. We've elevated with books. We've supported book signings. We've done all of these things. So I'm here with the True Visionaries group, which is another clubhouse room that had got together with Monica Floyd, and she started her get-togethers in person last year, and so now this is the second annual, and it's just so freaking good. Like, to meet people that you've grown with, you've been in their weeds with them sometimes. Shoot, you've grabbed their seeds that they've planted, right? And you've done it without even meeting them. You've done it because their voice is so challenging to you. You've done it because they resonate with you. You've done it and you've supported them. In the midst of somebody else's weeds, I was able to plant seeds because they chose to come to my Women's Weekend Renewal Retreat just from hearing my voice, just from me pouring into them on an ongoing basis. The continuity of cleaning out your weeds and helping other people to do so is amazing because it powers you as it powers them. My women's weekend renewal retreat is no joke. It's amazing. It pours into you. It's this September. But last September, I had a number of folks that just came from an app and said, hey, I want to meet you in person and have you do the things that you do for me in person for these 4 days. How powerful is that? While you're in your weeds, you are planting seeds. While somebody else is in their weeds, guess what? Have you even realized that you're in there with them sometimes, helping them navigate and push and do all of the things? So say thank you, you guys. If somebody's been in the weeds with you, say thank you for being here with me, for rocking with me while I had all of these tough times, but they're not insurmountable issues anymore because I reframed my perspective. I realized that I was standing right here. I listened intently and without judgment because you were right there pushing me. I reframed my perspective. I cultivated a growth mindset. And then guess what? I tended my garden and now I'm helping somebody else to tend theirs. What are you doing in your weeds? Right? Ugh, I get so pumped when I'm on here. So we only have a couple of more minutes, you guys. And so, listen, I'm trying to look at all the comments, but if you're on Clubhouse, you just got to open up because I can't look at all of the places and spaces. Okay.
Lolita, I
Hey,
would love this is Bridget.
hey, Bridget.
Would love to get you on as part of Vistage, which is a national, one of the largest CEO networks in the world, and we have a Vistage speaker circuit. And you are amazing.
Oh,
I love. I popped in here this morning. I don't always have time to jump in, and it's like, oh, this is what I need in the morning. And I especially am interested if you could also just put in the, I don't know if you put it in the comments because I'm driving, but I really am interested in your book. So if you could put a link in or send me a link to your books, that would be great. Loved when you said the title of your book,
can we talk?
Let's Talk. That can we talk with the one about the black girl and your grandma? I'm like, oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. I love it because of course what was I thinking? It was inspiration for a young person, right? And I'm like, yes, that is so cool. And really I feel like your message just is meant for many. And I would be excited to just let's have a conversation offline. Send me a message. I'd love to. There's a way to get into the speaker circuit. It's not easy, but you do a couple of free ones for them. They rank you really well, and then you're in. And then you get to speak like all over, and you would connect with so many people, leaders, influence many. So send me a message. I gotta run pretty soon, but I just have to tell you, this has been just in the few minutes that I've been here, exactly when I needed this morning. And I just would be really excited about helping you push your message.
Oh, Bridget, thank you so much. See what I'm talking about, you guys? Sometimes planting seeds is helping other people to grow in their weeds or helping me to grow in my own weeds. Perfect example. Bridget, you came in right at the right moment. I have done all of the screenshots in order to make sure I can connect with you. One, thank you so much. Dear Black Girl, can we talk? As I talked about that, I wrote it for my 89-year-old grandma at the time. She's 91. She was able to hold that book in her hand and in my second book, she had it because it's thick. It's 44 letters and poems. But in this newest one, especially for Dear Black Girl, Can We Talk? It was illustrated by my 17-year-old niece. So she got to hold a book that was written by her granddaughter and illustrated by her great granddaughter. And with hopes, to your point, the reason I'm saying this is because, to your point, it can cross generations. Like this book can talk to so many ages, is because I want to get it in middle schools, because our middle school girls, even younger and older than that, is they need this. They need a reminder because the news doesn't always show them. And so now when I can get it illustrated to my words and my poetry, it comes at a different angle to meet people where they are inside of their weeds. So I love that you said that. I believe that everything is divine timing. I appreciate it, and I absolutely will be in touch.
Okay, I got to do.
Okay.
A book when she was 17.
Ah.
And and she wrote a book about success and people's vision of success and what it means for them at 17. So when you did that whole generational piece and your daughter and getting them connected, and it's all just, I'm not crying, you're crying.
Oh, I know, it's so
It's
good.
amazing.
And we're on an app.
Yeah.
You can't even make this up, you guys. You can't even make it up. I tell you. I love it. Thank you so much, Bridget, and I will absolutely be in touch.
So look how Christina
Okay.
it'd be amazing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. There's a Facebook user who said, love your message, Lolita. Always a blessing to hear you on Thursdays. Thank you so much. And yeah, if you're not part of my Facebook community, it's Coaching Cocktails and Conversations. Come on into the party. We love it over there. Was there anybody else? I think I heard one more person. Okay. Listen, you guys, it is always a pleasure. So I want to remind you, LA, if you have a friend, know a friend, want to drive with a friend, I'll be at the Barnes and Nobles in the Grove in LA this Saturday from 1 to 3. I'll be reading poetry from my book, Can We Talk? Letters and Poems to Reclaim a Bolder You. And also my 2 other books that are illustrated. I'll be reading those as well. So you all can see them, having some juicy conversations for a couple of hours right there. Want to give a shout out to Dora Maria, who might be asleep, but she is here as well in LA. And I always love the support that she gives, not only inside of Breakfast with Champions, not only in the background with myself, not only all of the places and spaces, but I'm hoping that she'll also sign her book for me as well. And so we want to make sure we continue to support people. Today, we talked about how to plant seeds while you're growing in the midst of your weeds. And I think that that's so important. And so hopefully you all took a couple nuggets away today, because I sure did. And I absolutely love it. Yay. I love it. When you sing while you talk, it's like this super good feeling. I know I'm not the only person who does that. Am I the only person who does that? I don't know. But the singing could be because I'm about to jump all the way back into the bed right after one more meeting after this. And then it'll be so good. So
Hey,
thank
Lolita.
you. Yes.
Mary Lynn does that.
Yes, she does.
Lolita.
Hey.
Hey, it's Christina. I heard one more person wanted to share something when you asked the question. I don't think you heard her.
Oh, I didn't.
But I heard somebody speak up.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's Dr. Emerald. Thank you.
Hey, Dr.
So I
Emerald.
just wanted to, hi. I'm sorry to miss you in LA, but my plans just changed. Port Connection.
Can you guys hear her?
Oh, can you hear me?
Hear. Oh, now I can. Yes.
So we train our tech. So whatever information we put in, it spits out. So absolutely everything you said about does the tech does it relate to me? So that's really important. So check out that book. It's called
Lolita's got, I think you got something going on with your sound, Lolita.
It might be. Sorry,
Yeah,
I see it
yeah,
now.
you got something going on over there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you guys for popping in. I see it in the, can you hear me?
We hear you, yes.
Oh, but I can't hear all of the things. But Dr. Emerald said, oh, it's also her connection. She said the book is called Technically Wrong. I didn't hear what it was about, but I'll definitely grab it. So thank you so much. Yeah, something's going on with my sound, maybe. I don't know. But thank you guys.
It's that LA air interfering.
I appreciate everybody that allowed me to come up and speak to everybody. Mama Lolita, I'm gonna back channel you as well. I recognize right now what y'all doing is really nation building. I recognize leadership, not the ones that lead us, the politicians, but the true leadership that are in our communities, the mothers, the fathers, the people like Mama Lolita here, and Dr. Lacey that just came up. Y'all such beautiful people. I follow some people on the stage like Dr. Yang. Even though he don't speak a lot, y'all, he's a beautiful spirit. He's a beautiful man. Hey, look, y'all, I'm identifying leadership right now. That this is the leadership that I think that could pull us all together and actually form a government right now. This is what we truly all need. Okay. This is not an infomercial, what I'm telling you. Okay. This is not say a pep talk. This is something real, something that I've dedicated my resources and my time, and we've gathered people, just like-minded people, just like yourself, okay, that are in just regular communities, mom and dads, and we formulated some paperwork and we put them in very high places, okay, and now your world leaders are starting to recognize this authority. Now, what we're missing is leadership like yourself. This is what we're missing. But the leadership will come together eventually. And this is not to put you down or to scare you, but we are desperately needing this leadership all over the world. Remember, the little ones, okay, our generations are looking at y'all right now, okay? They are suffering. They're getting killed out in these streets, okay? These things are starting to get too much out of hand.
Hey, Mr.
Now,
Danny.
I will end with this. I have a petition. I'm just asking for like-minded people like myself to take a look at it. Okay, this petition will give you the authority to actually replace the leadership with
Hey,
righteous.
Mr. Danny. Mr. Danny, can you hear me okay,
Yes,
Mr. Danny? I just want to
yes,
say,
sir.
one, thank you for being a part of this community. You are amazing. And I see you have a little red icon there. So don't forget to join the house. May I ask your permission? I believe it could be Mama Link next, maybe Lolita want to close. I'm not sure. But point of Mr. Danny, can I ask you to continue to be here and join the community? But we just have other segments to move on and share this valuable information. May I have your permission?